On the 4th of July in the year 1928, Alfred Loewenstein, an extraordinarily affluent tycoon, embarked on his luxurious aircraft at Croydon Airport. This flight was part of his usual itinerary, destined to traverse the breathtaking landscapes along the English and French shores, before eventually reaching Brussels, where Loewenstein resided with his spouse, Madeleine. The journey was meticulously planned, with Loewenstein undoubtedly accustomed to such extravagant travels due to his opulent lifestyle and booming business empire. Loewenstein's presence never failed to catch the attention of airport staff, a testament to his distinctive aura that extended to any place he visited. His identity transcended beyond borders as a remarkably affluent businessman, to the extent that his unmatched wealth earned him the renowned title of the wealthiest individual globally. Loewenstein's reputation preceded him, making him easily identifiable and stirring curiosity wherever he appeared. His wealth was substantial even before the onset of the First World War, but it saw a remarkable surge during the subsequent period of peace. His vast array of enterprises played a crucial role in supplying electrical power to emerging nations, catapulting him into the limelight as a figure actively sought after by heads of state worldwide. Presidents and prime ministers from various countries recognized the pivotal role played by his companies in electrifying developing regions. In addition to his supporters, he encountered numerous adversaries as well. In the year 1926, he founded International Holdings and Investments, a venture that attracted substantial funds from affluent financiers. As the year 1928 rolled around, these investors began to expect a profitable outcome on their investments promptly, preferring not to wait any longer than necessary. The establishment of International Holdings and Investments marked a strategic move for him in entrenching his financial endeavors. On a pleasant July day in 1928, Loewenstein embarked on his journey homeward, filled with contentment. The skies were clear, as hardly a cloud dotted the horizon, setting the stage for a serene evening for air travel. In the aircraft, the pilot, Donald Drew, instilled confidence in Loewenstein by assuring him of a smooth and uneventful flight towards his destination. On the aircraft, apart from Alfred Loewenstein, a total of 6 individuals were present. Pilot Drew was stationed at the entrance of the plane, overseeing the boarding process for both passengers and crew members. Within the cabin, alongside Loewenstein, were Fred Baxter, his devoted valet, and Arthur Hodgson, the male secretary entrusted with important tasks. Additionally, 2 women, namely Eileen Clark and Paula Bidalon, served as stenographers in Loewenstein's entourage. This setting captures the essence of a diverse group coming together for a shared journey. In the cockpit were Drew, along with Robert Little, who served as the aircraft mechanic for the flight. The cockpit, being a self-contained unit, was isolated from the rest of the aircraft, with only a small porthole providing a connection to the main cabin. Following the takeoff of the Fokker aircraft, Drew and Little found themselves in a situation where they were unable to directly access or communicate with the passengers in the cabin area. Shortly past 6 in the evening, the Fokker FV-2, a diminutive single-wing aircraft, commenced its journey along the grassy airstrip. In a matter of minutes, the aircraft ascended into the skies, steadily making its way up to its designated cruising altitude of 4,000 feet. Gradually, the passengers aboard the plane were treated to a captivating view of the scenic Kent coastline unfolding beneath them. Within a minute or so, the aircraft had crossed over to hover above the vast expanse of the English Channel, offering a panoramic vista of the sparkling waters below. In the rear section of the aircraft's cabin, there was a door devoid of windows that provided access to a compact restroom area. This specific space additionally featured an external door, prominently labelled as Exit, which was outfitted with a spring-loaded latch that could be operated from within. An interesting characteristic of this exit door was its formidable resistance to being opened during flight, requiring the combined strength of 2 sturdy individuals due to the force exerted by the slipstream against it. This aerodynamic pressure posed a considerable challenge, making it a task that demanded significant physical effort and coordination to overcome while in mid-air. During the initial phase of the flight, Loewenstein dedicated his time to jotting down notes, focusing on specific details and observations. This activity occupied him for the first part of the journey until the aircraft proceeded towards the channel. 10 minutes had elapsed since Baxter excused himself, leaving his seat unattended. His prolonged absence caused him to feel anxious, prompting him to approach the restroom door and knock, hoping for a response. However, the silence continued, with no one answering his call. Baxter's growing concern was evident, as the seconds ticked by without any sign of his companion returning. Concerned about the well-being of Loewenstein, he anxiously pushed the door ajar, fearing the worst. To his surprise, the restroom lay deserted, giving no indication of Loewenstein's whereabouts. It was as though Alfred Loewenstein had inexplicably vanished. In a situation where a clear choice of action was apparent, the pilot could have opted to redirect the plane towards the airstrip situated at St. Inglevert, strategically positioned between Calais and Dunkirk. At this location, an opportunity would have existed for the pilot to promptly inform the Coast Guard about Loewenstein's mysterious disappearance. Contrary to this logical decision, Donald Drew, the pilot, decided to land the aircraft on a beach near Dunkirk that he believed to be uninhabited. Upon closer examination, it was revealed that the beach was serving as a training ground for a nearby army unit. Upon noticing the aircraft preparing to land, the soldiers swiftly sprinted along the beach towards the aircraft. It took approximately 6 minutes for the soldiers to reach the motionless plane, during which period the passengers and crew had already exited the aircraft. This incident sheds light on the dual role of the beach, highlighting its utilization for both military training activities and unexpected aviation encounters, exemplifying a unique intersection of military and civilian realms. After the incident, Lieutenant Marquet attempted to gather information from the individuals involved. Despite his efforts, the situation remained confusing and unclear. Pilot Drew's behavior was notably odd during the interrogation, as he skillfully avoided providing coherent answers to the questions posed by Lieutenant Marquet, prolonging the process for half an hour. Eventually, Pilot Drew reluctantly confessed that they had somehow lost track of Alfred Loewenstein's whereabouts somewhere above the English Channel. Drew found himself in the hot seat, facing an intense interrogation conducted by Inspector Bono, an experienced detective. The inspector openly expressed his deep bewilderment at the details he had gathered. He remarked that this is indeed an extraordinary and mysterious case. At this point, we are still exploring various possibilities without committing to a specific theory. The range of potential scenarios is wide open for consideration. The individual refrained from making any arrests, and notably, permitted the aircraft to proceed to its destination in St. Inglevert before returning to Croydon without any interruptions. In a comprehensive examination of the events, it became evident that the investigation into the matter was mishandled right from the start. Loewenstein was eventually located close to Boulogne on the 19th of July, a period exceeding 2 weeks following his initial disappearance. Subsequently, his remains were transported to Calais aboard a fishing vessel, and his identity was officially affirmed through the identification of his wristwatch. Following the post-mortem examination, it was determined that the individual suffered a partial fracture of the skull along with multiple broken bones. Forensic experts analyzing the case came to the conclusion that the person was still alive at the time of impact with the water. In the perplexing case of his fatal plunge, the mystery surrounding his descent to the ground without a definitive explanation persisted, leaving room for a plethora of conjectures. Among the various speculative narratives, one prevailing notion implicated the absent-minded Loewenstein in his own demise, suggesting that he might have inadvertently unlatched an incorrect portal, leading to his fatal fall. However, this scenario seemed highly implausible, considering the sheer difficulty, if not near impossibility, of manipulating a door while in a state of free fall. Amid speculation, rumors circulated suggesting that his demise was self-inflicted, potentially due to the imminent revelation of his unethical dealings in business. A more credible and ominous theory suggests that Loewenstein might have been forcefully ejected from the aircraft by the valet and the male secretary, potentially under the influence of Loewenstein's wife, Madeleine. Their intricate relationship was characterized by a significant lack of warmth, and it is speculated that she harbored a strong desire to secure his wealth. The circumstances surrounding his disappearance point towards a calculated and premeditated act orchestrated by individuals close to him, with Madeleine potentially playing a pivotal role in this unsettling narrative. The unequivocal certainty lies in the fact that every single one of the 6 individuals aboard had undeniably been informed about the heinous act that transpired. The Fokker's landing on the beach has been associated with a theory suggesting that it might have done so to facilitate the replacement of a new rear door, which was already present on board the aircraft, to substitute the one that had been ejected over the channel. This explanation aligns well with an anecdote shared by a French fisherman who remembered witnessing something resembling a parachute descending from the skies precisely when Loewenstein disappeared. It is plausible that this perceived parachute could have been the missing rear door. This intricate narrative sheds light on a potential connection between the landing event and the mysterious disappearance, proposing a scenario where the aircraft's maneuvers were linked to the crucial replacement of the rear door. In the scenario where both the door and Loewenstein were disposed of in the Channel waters, it could be deemed as the flawless execution of a crime. Surprisingly, no individual was ever formally charged, and there were no direct accusations made. Regarding Loewenstein, his lack of popularity culminated in him being buried in an unmarked grave as his final resting place. This unfortunate outcome reflected the absence of closure or justice for the mysterious events that transpired around his demise. Madeleine, the widow of the deceased, did not attend the gathering, indicating that she likely had pressing engagements related to managing and allocating the substantial inheritance she had recently acquired. It can be inferred that her absence was not due to mourning, but rather due to the significant responsibilities that come with inheriting a substantial fortune. So, what do you think happened to Alfred Loewenstein? Be sure to leave your questions and answers in the comment section below and help us to grow this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.